Good morning, guys. We still trucking along. Like, yeah. Day number 9 of the new year. Episode number 8 of my reflection series. We getting it big, bro. We are doing the damn thing. And I just want to tell y'all, thank you so much. Thank you to all my subscribers, to all my supporters, to all the people who are rocking with me and loving the content. Thank you to all of you who take the time out to view my videos, like my videos, and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. And y'all are really a big part of my motivation. I cannot lie. Outside of the Lord himself, the second thing that's really motivating me to keep showing up is the people who support me. So thank you so much for that. Now let's get into it. So, hey, it's your girls, hey, and welcome back to my channel. Over here, I give you your healthy dose of spiritual big sister advice that'll help you make the changes that'll progress you forward for your highest and greatest good. Now, if you resonate with that and that sounds good to you, please hit that like button, click subscribe, and tap that bell so you'll be notified of every time I post. And now, let's get into the video. So, boom. Okay, y'all, I must say, today, I am so tired. Like, I didn't go to bed until it was like 12:30 by the time I laid down and went to sleep. It's because I took a nap yesterday. I needed the nap, but I kind of went over on my nap time. So yeah, your girl was basically up all night and then got right back up at 5 o'clock this morning. And I laid in the bed contemplating life, and I'm just like, you know what, Tay, we've been doing good. You've been putting these videos out. You've been doing the damn thing. Don't break the routine. That's what the self-talk was. Don't break the routine. Because you got momentum, so you don't need to do that. And I got my look. I got my ass up, tired and all. And now y'all see me in front of you today. Even though I'm recording a little late, I'm in front of you. So that's all that matters. Cause baby, I promise you, I was laying there thinking about, man, I could just do it tomorrow. Nope, do it today. Do it today. Cause you said what you said you was gonna do. So you gotta stick to it. Cause this year I told myself, whatever I say, I'm sticking to it. So get your behind in front of this camera and do it today. So voila, y'all, I'm here. So if I look a little tired, or if I may seem like I look a little stressed on camera, I'm not stressed, I'm tired as all get out. Cause like I said, I'm self-employed. Work don't stop, baby. So keep that in mind for all you aspiring entrepreneurs. If you want to be self-employed and have your own business, you're gonna have to hustle. And it's gonna be taking late nights, early mornings. But when you find balance, you find peace. So that's also a side note. But right now, I have a good sense of balance. It's just your girl took a nap and threw herself off. So yeah, unfortunately. But today, I'm gonna be talking to you guys because we still trucking along with my Art of Reflection series. And as y'all know, yeah, I'm gonna be giving that to y'all the whole month because that's what this month is about. Reflecting to be better. And if you missed out on my previous videos to get the foundation work to do that, and the exercises and the journal prompts to do that, go back to my last 7 videos. Because, yeah, that's very much gold-worthy content. But if you picking up from right here, it's still good too, because today we're going to be talking about how to reflect without judgment, and we're talking about the art of being honest with yourself. So today I just got 3 tips for y'all, but I kind of touch base on everything, because like I told you when I first started this series, a lot of stuff is going to sound repetitive, not gonna lie, but you get different takeaways from each point of view. So with today, this is important to you because you just need to know how to stop patting yourself on the back so much, but also don't be honest with yourself to the point where you belittling and degrading yourself either. You gotta find that good medium to everything. And in order to do that, you have to practice self-love, self-compassion, and you have to have accountability. The word for today's video is accountability. No accountability, no honesty, no clarity, no success. Accountability. So, the reason this is going to be important and I decided to make a video about this particular aspect of being honest with yourself altogether is because, as I said in a previous video, everyone, well, not everyone, but the majority, I would say that the majority lacks accountability. They lack having the strength and the wherewithal to tell themselves how or what they did was out of alignment with what they're trying to do, not very conducive to their success, and not very conducive to them as a person and their aspects of who they're trying to become. As I said before, if you want to be better, you have to do better. If you want to do better, you have to see better. So, in order to do that, you first must acknowledge that something is wrong, and you also must acknowledge that I lack accountability in this area, so let me start doing the work where I could build that and, you know, start getting skin in the game on that type of situation to, you know, transform your life. So today I just have 3 tips for you to do that. I mean, other videos I've had 6, but today I only felt 3. So let's get into it. Now, as I've mentioned in every video, the first step is always going to be acknowledge the situation. But in this particular video, you want to embrace self-awareness for growth. And now this is just to say, like I said, acknowledge that there's a need to grow. Acknowledge what you're doing is no longer beneficial to who you are or who you're trying to become. And that part about acknowledging that it's no longer beneficial to who you are, that's the biggest aspect of it. So yes, as I was saying, acknowledge that it's no longer beneficial to who you are today. That's a big part of it, because so many people tend to adopt the qualities of ourselves as set in stone, like this is who I am, you gotta either deal with it or get on down. And that's that is so far from the truth. It's like I said in the last video, when you learn the language of fluidity, when you learn that whoever you desire to be and whoever you are now is not set, that will change your outlook on life tremendously. So, acknowledge the things and embrace the journey to self-awareness by acknowledging what no longer serves you, what's no longer beneficial, what's no longer conducive to success, what's no longer needed. Because one big part of it too, some people right now in this very moment, they're exiting survival. So some of the qualities of yourself you had to do because you needed to do them to survive. Now, acknowledge that if that's currently you, acknowledge those things and embrace the self-awareness and embrace the change, because they're no longer needed. If you keep holding on to them and you keep trying to make an old thing work, as I said in a previous video, you are going to become obsolete, because the old system just does not work anymore. Just like with all the technology we use today, you have updates, you have upgrades. If you were not to do those things to your devices, what do you think will happen? They will become obsolete. They will not work properly. They will slowly, shut down, and then they die. And that's the same thing that happens to humans. So, acknowledge and embrace self-awareness. Acknowledge the things that you must change and let go of the things that are no longer beneficial. When you do that, that's the first key to, being able to say, yeah, I see that this no longer works. And yeah, I see that I need to change. And that opens up your mind to give you the gateway to ask yourself, how might I go about changing these things? And how can I implement something else in my life that is going to be beneficial to the things I'm trying to do, the things I'm trying to call in, and the things I'm trying to be. Embrace the self-awareness. Embrace the change. Acknowledge that there is a need for change. Acknowledge the things that no longer serve you. And that is your first key to reflecting on yourself without judgment, so that you can be honest with yourself and be successful. So that was tip number 1. Now, tip number 2, separate the identity from the behavior. Like I just said previously, we as humans gotta understand that aspects of ourselves are not set in stone. God put us down here on this earth where we can live life, and life is a journey. Life is not linear. You are going to be up, you're going to be down. You're going to like this thing one moment, you're going to like another. Things change, values change, beliefs change. So if all those things change, why can't your personality change? Why can't your behavior change? People hold themselves back because, just to put it simply, they're scared to be different. They hold their true self back because they're scared to look like somebody outside of the norm. And as I said previously, you have to realize that your norm didn't work for your mother, father, probably your aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, if you have older sisters or older brothers, or even if you just have siblings, period. It's not working for them. You see how everybody in your life is living the same thing. You see how everybody in your life has been eating the same way, and now they are getting these unhealthy diseases the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the cholesterol. You see how people been operating their finances the same way. So what that leads them to be impoverished, struggling, in lack. You see it over and over and over and over completely. But because you're so scared to be different and to walk a different path and to step off that roller coaster of nothingness, you hold yourself back and you tie the aspects of yourself that need to be changed, as in, oh, this is who I am, this is who I've always been, this is who I'm comfortable in, because that's what it is. You're comfortable there in your stagnicity, your lack, your poverty, your mundaneness. You're comfortable. So since you're comfortable and you feel like this is familiar, and if I was to do a new thing, one, the people around me won't recognize me, and two, it'll be too uncomfortable and uncertain, and I don't know what to expect, and I won't recognize me. You are talking yourself into holding on to these old systems and beliefs as your identity, or you're tying a negative aspect of yourself to your identity, when we have full possibility, capability, and freedom to change. If you're a person who's inconsistent, that doesn't mean you're an inconsistent person. That's just a person who lacks consistency. It's a very big difference. If you're a person who's always late, you're not a person who's always late. You're a person who is frequently late. I know that kind of sounded the same, but hear me clear, it's very different. Stop tying the negative thing to your personality. If you're a person who's always been overweight, don't tie that to your identity, because that is one thing that I used to do so very much. And I mean, look at me, I'm still overweight, but I'm losing weight too. I didn't start losing weight until I shifted that mindset and was like, I'm not a person who's overweight, I'm just a person who is overweight. Very different, sounds the same, but you gotta hear me to hear me. You gotta hear with your mind and not with your ears and your eyes. Hear me to hear me. So when I changed that belief within myself, the weight has been melting off. Even the one about being late, when I changed that belief within myself, I started to be on time. When I got clear about the woman that I want to be, meaning she's healthy, she's happy, she's consistent, she's punctual, I then started to emulate those positive qualities and not the ones that I've constantly been telling myself that, hey, this is who I am, deal with it. No, that's not who you are. That's just who you've been. It's a big difference. So stop tying the behavior to the identity. Whatever that you're holding on your heart and saying, oh, this is me, let it go. Think different, but in order to think different, you must see different. Show yourself different to start to think different, to change the mindset on who you really are, and then change the mindset on who you want to be at your core. You're no longer the person who's always late. You're no longer ghetto. You're no longer ratchet. You're no longer loud. Change the behavior. Stop tying the behavior to your identity, and change your outlook on the behavior to untie it from you as a person if you feel it no longer serves you or is not conducive to the person that you're trying to be future-wise. If it's not aligning with who you say you're trying to be and who you're trying to call into your life and whatever you're trying to bring in and attract and manifest, if it's not helping it, reframe it or let it go completely. So tip number 2, stop tying the behavior to your identity, because your behaviors are not your identity. Your behaviors are not who you are completely. Your behavior is your behavior, which is an action, which actions can be changed. You can always do something else or do differently. Remember that. Now, tip number 4. Lord, I've been jumping 2 to 4. But tip number 3. Practice radical honesty. And this just goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video. Like, some people overcompensate for themselves too much. Meaning, you know you got these goals on your thing, that on your vision board, in your journal, in your mind, wherever you put your goals. You got these goals that you had in you, on you, walking within your heart, mind, body, spirit for years on years on years, right? So each year you let the time pass by and you never even made any type of progress towards the goal. You never even gave yourself the opportunity to even see if you was gonna even do great, because you never even got started. Or you did very little and gave up. And then when people do that, they like to tell themselves, oh, well, this and this happened, but I'm gonna get into it next time. I'm gonna be better next time. I'm gonna do such and such next time. And I got time. Stop overcompensating for yourself. Because what I had to do when I was doing this particular part for myself, I had to ask myself, with me constantly saying I got time, with me constantly saying it's always next year, or it's always next month, or it's always tomorrow, if I was to die today, would I be satisfied? And Lord, I ain't trying to bring up death, but I had to ask myself that if I was to die today, would I be satisfied with what I have in front of me? And I sat back and I really thought on that. And I realized, no, I wouldn't be satisfied with that. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't say, when God got me up there in that upper room and I'm looking back on my life and He's looking back at the things I've done, the things I've added into the world of value, the things that I'm walking with and leaving this earth with, having had and having done and having given. Honestly, I told myself, I was like, shoot, God might be, even though He's a God of mercy, a God of love, and a God of kind, I know that. But in order to motivate myself, I told myself, I'm like, God would probably look at me and be like, girl, you've done nothing. You just was out here surviving. You ain't done nothing. And like, I had to tell myself, I would be disappointed because I slept on my potential so hard. Better yet, I was in hibernation on my potential. Bump sleeping, because when you're sleeping, you can still get up and hear the alarm. I was in pure, deep, dark abyss hibernation. I was just coasting along to coast along to get along. And when I told myself that, I'm like, no, it's not a tomorrow. It's not a next month. It's not a next year. It's not 2 years from now. It's not oh, I'm working on it. Do something every day, even if it's in the very slightest of things. It could be so minute, it could be so minimal, it could be so insignificant to you may feel, but each drop towards the thing that you're wanting to accomplish and call into your life is a ripple, building a big wave to your overwhelming success, to your overwhelming prosperity, to your overwhelming happiness. Each thing is going to give you a sense of gratitude. Each thing is going to give you a sense of pride. Each thing is going to give you a sense of belonging and worthiness. But you can't do that if you're constantly overcompensating for yourself. Stop telling yourself you got this amount of time. Because especially with our generation, with people being 25 and under, we dropping like flies. We ain't even making it to 30. Some folks ain't even making it to 20 if you living a life like that. So stop putting off what you could do today for tomorrow, because the Bible literally tells us the present is a gift and tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So make the most of yours today so you can, in the slightest, ensure a better tomorrow. But if you don't get that tomorrow, at least you know you made massive impact for your present day. Like, you gotta practice the art of being honest. Some of y'all be like, excuses galore. Like, you can't sit around and do that. You can't sit around and be like that. You can't sit around and twiddle your thumbs and, like I said previously, hope God gonna drop a blessing in your lap. Because it don't work like that. You can't sit around and hope God gonna do it for you, because he did what he needed to do for you. He gave you life. He woke you up to see the present day. He's giving you another opportunity to make something of yourself. So thank him for it and get off your ass and on your feet and get to doing what you need to do. Be honest. Be honest about the things you need to change. Be honest about the things that you no longer agree with, no longer like. Be honest about you bullshitting. Be honest about you wasting time. Be honest about you lacking self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, anything. Be honest about it. Because the only way you can move forward is if you acknowledge that there is a problem. The only way you can do that is when you acknowledge the things that are no longer serving you. It all works together. You can't get one without the other, and you can't have the white picket fence if you never even built the goddamn house. Just saying. Stop sitting around being lazy. Stop sitting around banking on a man to freaking come into your life and take care of you if you're not even taking care of yourself. Because even with that, you're going to get something, and it's going to be a pirate dream. And that's how you end up with the men who beat on you. That's how you end up with the men who belittle you. That's how you end up with the men that manipulate you, financially abuse you, mentally abuse you. Because y'all sit around and do stuff like that. And it's the same with your success. Stop sitting around waiting on somebody else to give it to you, save you, do this, that, and the third for you. Because one, you're going to end up with a dream that you didn't even ask for or wanted to sign up for. But because you so ready and willing to jump on somebody else's bandwagon because you feel like they gonna save you and they gonna take you to success, you get these pirate dreams, these pirate success. Save yourself. Do it for you. Stand on your own 2 feet. And be honest about the things that you need to do. Be honest about the things that you want. Be honest about the things that no longer benefit you. Practice radical honesty. It's tip number 2. Stop overcompensating. Have accountability. And make the decision as a full-bodied, able, grown adult today on this is what I want to do. And I'm standing firm and unshakable in my decision to do it. Only thing that's going to keep me from it is either a tragedy or death itself. Be that solid on what you're trying to do. Be that honest on the things you need to do. And then put in the work to do so. But the first step to it all is to start being radically honest with yourself and have accountability. Stop overcompensating for your lack thereof. Let's keep on going. Tip number 4. Use reflection as a tool and not a trap. Reflection is not your outlet to beat yourself down. Reflection is not your outlet to tell yourself how you ain't shit, you'll never be shit, you was born into some shit. That ain't your opportunity to do that. And a lot of y'all getting misconstrued. Like, reflection is a tool of measurement. Reflection is a tool to allow you to see yourself from a different perspective in a clear mind frame. It gives you the opportunity to analyze the things that you did in certain situations so you can understand either where you went wrong and how to correct it, or how you handled a certain situation properly, or this is what you've been doing thus far and it's not working to what you're trying to achieve in life. So these are the things you need to eliminate. These are the people you need to eliminate. These are the things you need to let go of. That's what reflection is. It's not for you to get stuck in analysis paralysis, regret, or just downright, like I said, belittle and beat and batter yourself. It's not for that. So, in order to look at it like that, as I said in a previous video, all this stuff is just so the eye can be able to view itself without a third party. So, after we done went through these situations where we done had heightened emotions, or we extremely emotional about them, and you know, we done had some time to go back where we done got a little more level-headed and clear on the situation, because I know everybody watching this video right now, you done something and you probably overreacted, like going off on your man or whatever, and you sat back and some time done went off or went by, and you actually said like, dang, I ain't have to do that like that. That right there is reflection in live action. That is your opportunity to look at yourself from a analytical point of view and be very honest about how you could have did that different. But that takes accountability. So that's why you want to work on the previous 3 steps to get you here. When you do that, write out what you feel you could have done differently in this particular situation. And as I've always said in these previous videos, acknowledge the feelings, acknowledge the shame, acknowledge the disappointment, acknowledge the embarrassment, because we all gonna feel that when we start doing this particular part. Acknowledge whatever you feel when you think about these past situations and how you handle past things, or how you manage past situations and things, or when you start looking at the things you've dealt with from people and thinking on the mindsets you've been in. Acknowledge the feelings that come up. And as I've told you in previous videos, always tell yourself positivity and reparent and reframe that emotion. Like, don't sit here and tell yourself if you did something that embarrassed you, you just an embarrassment, you nothing, like you're stupid, da da da. Don't sit here and tell yourself stuff like that. Sit here and really freaking parent yourself. Be like, I understand that you handled it that way, and I understand you were embarrassed, but the past is the past, and one day or one situation does not define you as a person, nor does it define a lifetime. So you're human. We all make mistakes, but it's okay, and you don't have to feel that way anymore. And tell that version of yourself, whichever one may be coming up in that particular moment, may you be happy, may you be loved, may you be healed. But it's time to let go. Do that however many times you need to. I promise you, them situations, whatever the moment is, it will subside, it will feel better. You will not have that tinge of guilt or embarrassment or that nauseous feeling you get when you have shame, or none of that in your spirit or in your body. You will let it go. You will dissolve it. It will flee from you. So, tell yourself that. And acknowledge the feelings. Acknowledge the moment. But don't beat yourself down. That's not what I'm telling you to do when I'm telling you to analyze your previous patterns, behaviors, and situations. That's farthest what I'm telling you to do. Because, as I said, reflection is a tool, not a trap. Reflection is a means of measurement, not a means of discipline or punishment. Rather, that's a better word to say that. It's not a means of punishment. Reflecting on yourself is not a consequence. So when you realize that you have compassion while having honesty, you have accountability while having peace, you have sympathy or empathy without having the negative backlash or looking at yourself like, oh, you poor soul. You don't have that when you practice this well and right. So keep that in mind. Always remember that reflection is not a tool. Reflection is not a trap. It's a tool and a means of measurement and not a punishment. And you do all four of these things, you will certainly quantum leap yourself into success, quantum leap yourself into a new mind frame. You would shift your whole outlook on life. You will shift your mindset. You will shift your reality for the better. And you will become more in vibration with the things that you're wanting to attract, align with, and call into your life. I cannot stress it enough because it's been working for me. I'm not telling y'all anything that isn't working, and I can't wait until I can share with you guys the other half of the things I've been doing, because it's so much. And like I said, it's been so many things I've been doing, so many things I've been calling into my life, and I wasn't able to attract them and get in alignment with them because one, I had old people, places, and situations still attached to me that were not conducive or pushing me forward to a higher level of success or to be in alignment with my plans. And also, I was just, like I said, coasting through life. I wasn't even giving myself the opportunity to even have the room to do things better, to become more in alignment with the things that I want to attract, because I had no guideline. I didn't know where I was messing up at, so I didn't know what I needed to do to get to the things that I want to be, because I wasn't reflecting on myself. And once I started doing that, it gave me the foundation, the framework, and the want to start building and being the better me. And it all came from me acknowledging that I had a problem. That all came from me being honest about the things that I need to change. That all came from me not overcompensating for myself. That all came from me doing all these things and separating the negative aspects or the things that I was doing from my identity. It came when I started doing that. And it came when I started using reflection as a tool and not looking at it as a consequence or a trap or a means of punishment for my lack of action or, negative actions. It's not that. So if you want to learn how to use the art of reflection, please once again go check out my previous videos, because I give gold worthy content just like you received today in all of them. And not only that, you're being able to view and see my growth each and every day. So please go like, comment, and subscribe. And if this video resonated with you, please type in 122 in the comments. That's the message I'm feeling today. 122. Type in 122 in the comments. And also tell me what you thought about this video. And just share with me some of your, things you're doing or situations you've been going through that you're working on creating and making better. And once again, this is Tay, your spiritual big sister, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.